So we're putting that box for, or that extra column for translating is going to go on the y side. It's going to go on the right side of our table, right? So we have the table and we're going to set up that extra column to help us perform our translation. Now, reflecting across x means that we make it negative y. Y becomes the opposite, okay? So when we have this positive, or excuse me, a negative 1, it's going to become a positive 1. Positive 3 is going to be negative 3. Positive 1, negative 3. There's kind of a pattern because that's just the way the graph is designed. And then you got to pick your new ordered pairs. Negative 3, 1. Negative 1, negative 3. Okay, so we're going to plot this now. We're going to put some points on the graph. We now have an ordered pair at negative 3, positive 1. Okay, then we have an ordered pair at negative 1, negative 3. Now we're down here. Back up, back down, back up. And when we connect them, instead of having that M-looking shape that we had before, now it's more of a W. We have reflected the graph. Okay? It's tipped over onto itself. And totally reflected. Now if you notice, oopsies, that's not what I wanted to do. It's not that the whole graph is moved to the other side, because it's just that every point now is on the other side. Okay, so what was down below is now up above. That is a reflection. Okay? So we'll finish by talking a little bit about stretches and compressions. And this first one we're doing is stretch by a factor of 2. It's a vertical stretch. Now look at this. It's greater than 1. And so that's how we know that it's going to be a stretch. When we look at number 4, this is a compression by a factor of half. And so that half means that we're going to be compressing it. Okay, vertical, working with y. Y gets multiplied by 2, so now it's 2y. So instead of negative 1, this is negative 2. Instead of 3, we're now at 6. Negative 2, 6, negative 2. So our new ordered pairs are going to be a little bit different. They're going to be a little bit further away from the axis, from the x-axis. We've moved them up higher. They're taller. The graph should be taller. Okay, so we got negative 3, negative 2. 1, 6. Oops, I should say negative. I screwed that up last time too. Negative 1, 6. 1, negative 2. 3, 6, right? Because we're taking from the new column we made is how we get part of our ordered pair. And then 5, negative 2. So now the graph has been stretched out. We've taken it. It's like we've grabbed onto those little points, put our hands in there, and pulled it away, stretched it out from top to bottom. We grabbed here and stretched and pulled in those directions. That's why it's taller now than it was before. It's been stretched. Okay, last one. Compress horizontally. Horizontally means we're dealing with the x column. And we're going to multiply x by half. Because that's how we work horizontally, dealing with the x. We want to change it horizontally, so we got to work with x. Okay? Half of negative 3 is negative 3 halves, negative 1.5. Half of negative 1 is negative 1 half. Positive 1 half. Positive 3 halves. And positive 5 halves here at the bottom. So now all of our ordered pairs are not going to live on the line. They're going to live in between those lines. So negative 3 halves is negative 1 1/2, and then we go down 1. So now we're, whoops, my bad. Not a good spot for that. Negative 3 halves, negative 1. There we go, right about in there. My board's not very well aligned. Negative half, positive 3. Same height, but now we've squished the graph. We've compressed it. 1 half, negative 1. 3 halves, positive 3. 5 halves, which is 2 1/2. Oops. Graph turns at that point, doesn't it? There it is. It's been squished. It's like we've taken the outsides and pushed them in to the middle. Okay, all by just multiplying x or multiplying y depending on what we're supposed to be working with. Okay, so there's some examples for you to look at. We'll talk more about it in class.